So this is something that I sort of warned people about that would happen, and it looks like it's kind of happening a little bit. I don't know if this is directly anything to do with kind of what's going on with Xbox at this current moment, but what we are seeing is, in fact, a situation that doesn't really bode well for Xbox in general, because it leads to us getting less content. And I think that's a real kind of issue going forward. Like, we all want to get as much content as possible, and the fact of the matter is, we haven't really been able to do that. So it is kind of unfortunate to see. And again, at the end of the day, I feel like this is something that a lot of people are going to kind of be upset about. For me personally, one of these, you just kind of question, like, why? So I want to go ahead and get into it, because this was very interesting on a day when, a lot of games went to PlayStation and even the Switch. It's really sort of a sad situation, but fans are sharing their disappointment that a couple new games are skipping the platform. This has become kind of the norm as Xbox fans. We sit back and we see stuff like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth become a Game of the Year candidate with a 90 plus Metacritic, and we're sitting there on the sidelines still, right? So yesterday, the Nintendo Direct brought us a whole bunch of games that have been since announced for Xbox, but two of the games that weren't confirmed for Microsoft platforms has been getting just as much attention as the rest. These two games are Capcom's Monster Hunter Stories and Namco's Gundam Evolution 4, both of which are coming to Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 5, and PC, but not Xbox. This has led to various discussion and debates on social media, with some suggesting it makes no sense for these titles to skip Xbox, and others pointing out that the likes of Gundam Evolution has never been on the platform anyway. So I will say, I don't particularly care about the Gundam Evolution thing, but to be honest with you, Monster Hunter Stories doesn't make sense for it not to come to Xbox, and it looks like this awesome kind of take on Pokemon Stadium or something. Like, it looks pretty dope, I'm not gonna lie. So you're kind of questioning, like, why aren't these games coming to Xbox? And we've seen this happen multiple times before. In fact, earlier yesterday, it was announced that Star Wars Battlefront 1, Star Wars Battlefront 2, the original ones from back on the PS2 Xbox era are going to come back this March, and they're going to be online, 64-player online, all the maps, all the characters, everything. And that's incredible. And you might go, well, why is that incredible to you? Well, if you don't follow my channel, I'll clue you in real quick. So back in the day when I was gaming, Dreamcast, and I was playing games online, I was playing shooters and sports games, mostly sports games online, the 2K games, football and stuff like that. In 2004, I started playing Star Wars Battlefront, and 2005 played Battlefront 2, and that was my first thing where I got a gaming clan and we were playing competitively and stuff like that. So I spent years playing Battlefront 2, in fact, and I actually rented a server for the PS2 version where I had a clan where we were playing, like, pretty successful group. So to see this come back fully online and stuff, but originally it wasn't announced as coming back for Xbox. It was like coming to PlayStation 5, coming to Switch, coming to Steam, right? But there was no Xbox on there. And to be honest with you, Xbox has been skipped on several of these Aspyr remastered Star Wars games, right? Like, they didn't get Republic Commando because they had it backwards compatible. And yes, Battlefront 1 and 2 are backwards compatible on the original Xbox, but there's no multiplayer or anything on those anymore. So I was pissed off at first, and then finally they did confirm that those are coming to Xbox. But again, here's the problem, right? And a lot of people are kind of throwing this stuff up like, I hate Xbox. I love Xbox. That's why I'm so passionate that they fight back and they stop doing this crazy crap that they're doing by putting their games on a platform that's literally trying to kill them. So here's the thing, and people are like up in arms, like, there's so many PlayStation fans right now that truly believe that PlayStation is going to put their games on Xbox at some point. And like, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that's not going to happen. It's like wishful thinking, because Microsoft is doing that, so you don't want to be left out in the dark as the only ones doing that. But here's the truth of the matter. We know that last year it leaked that Xbox had only sold 21 million units Xbox Series X and S, 21 million. So you could even figure maybe they have 23, 24 million right now, somewhere around there. PlayStation has almost 60 million units, and of course Switch has 140 million. So Xbox has the lowest install base, right? Like a lower install base than the GameCube ever have, and people and they drop support. Third parties drop support of GameCube for having a low install base. So why would PlayStation or anybody want to put their games on Xbox at this point, right? A lot of third parties don't. I would venture to say this is fact. Microsoft pays more to get third party games on Xbox than anybody else. Right, because you have to pay. Some companies probably just want to skip Xbox, right? And that's what they do. They want to skip Xbox or whatever, and because it's a low install base, and the install base that they have usually relies on Game Pass for games instead of buying their games. So unless you're going Game Pass day one, it doesn't make a lot of sense for you to put your game on Xbox at this point. That's why, right? I'm not trying to be mean. I love Xbox. I buy my games, and I think Game Pass is a nice kind of thing to complement buying your games. But, here's what people are saying about this on Twitter, according to this article. How many amazing games like these are going to skip Xbox? While I don't mind games from Xbox going to other platforms, that same effort should be put to have games like these come to Xbox that are skipping it. Another person said, as I said in another post, no Gundam Breaker's been on Xbox, so people need to calm down about the fourth title not coming. A Monster Hunter skipping is a different story. Which is weird. Maybe a next-gen release down the line. Who knows? Someone else says, thanks for bringing attention to it. Happens all too frequently and gets hand-waved like I don't care about this anyway. Awful look when it comes to everything except one specific platform because they add up. So there's obviously strong opinions about this. But, again, it's just been very interesting that, some of this stuff isn't coming to Xbox. And like I said, the Battlefront Classic Collection looks incredible, and thankfully that is coming to Xbox. But man, why do we got to hold our breath with each and every one of these announcements, right? Like it doesn't make a whole hell of a lot of sense. And at the end of the day, I really hope that people kind of let Microsoft know how people feel about it. That's just honestly, it's kind of annoying to me that where we live in this world where people are like making excuses for a $3 trillion company, saying they got to keep the lights on by putting their games on everything else. Meanwhile, they're promising all the biggest games are coming to Xbox, but it's like, we're not getting stuff like Final Fantasy. We're not getting Kingdom Hearts. We're not getting Silent Hill. We're not getting the big games that we should be getting. And it truly is unfortunate in my opinion. So I would love your guys' thoughts and opinions on this though. Please let me know what you guys think. Like I said, maybe you feel differently than me. Maybe you don't. But I think something's got to give here. We can't just sit back, lose all of our games. Like, why is it fair for PlayStation to get 3 first-party Xbox games the first quarter of the year and we get none? And also they get a bunch of exclusives, third-party and stuff that they paid for, while all these games are skipping Xbox apparently. So I don't know. Let me know. Rack them up. Crep Gamer out.